You're listening to the Impact Implosion on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
This is Impact Implosion for November 1st, 2012. My name is Seth Draken, and on the other end is Mike Poling.
Hello, everybody. We've got two shows to cover this week.
Yeah, because we weren't here last week.
Through no fault of anybody.
Yeah, just a mix-up. Something happened. Anyways, let's get to the first show, because really we'll have the news in between.
Yeah.
And really, there wasn't much news, so. Anyways, we started off with the Aces and Eights storyline, and Jeff. And, you know, I did talk about this. We have Jeff Hardy looking at all four of his opponents. Then the footage turns to slow motion, and we hear Hardy's thoughts.
I've always wondered what goes on in the mind of Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, I don't think... I think what I said something on Twitter about this. Talk about special treatment. Not only does Jeff hold on to his own piece of crap belt, but he also holds... Oh, no, that's not the preferential treatment. I said, what the hell? Jeff Hardy is allowed thought speech?
Apparently, he did get baked before the show last week.
Yeah. Seriously.
He's been hanging out with RVD again.
That's preferential treatment. They're giving him thought bubbles. Really?
It's like on Scrubs.
This is live. This is supposed to be live, kids.
It's like on Scrubs.
Anyways, we also have a new announcing format we should announce. That for the first hour, we had Jeremy Borash and Todd Kentley. I think that's his name. And the second hour, we had Mike Tenay and Taz.
We had Borash and Tenay tonight because Taz wasn't there.
Yeah, yeah. We'll get to that later. But anyways...
I don't like that. And it reminds me too much of Nitro in 98, when they used to have Tony and Larry start, and then they'd bring in Bobby Heenan and Tenay for the second and third hour.
You know... The only time this works is in Chikara, where they have every match be different announcers.
I like that.
That's kind of a freaking thing.
I like that format because you get to see the chemistry of the different Chikara people on commentary. It does. That format works.
Yeah. Anyways, we have RVD versus Zema Ion. And one of the things they were talking about during this match was that RVD is looking to reinvigorate the X Division.
You're old, dude. Get over it.
Yeah. Yes.
If this was 15 years ago, you might be able to.
Yes. I think I said something. Dang it, it's not shown here, but let me look. Because I said something about this reinvigorating the X Division crap.
They try this at least once a year.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, RVD reinvigorating the X Division. He's the last guy I think of when that happens.
If this was 1997-98, this would be, and TNA was around, RVD and Jerry Lynn would have been the X Division.
Oh yeah, and by the way, RVD wins this match in 4 minutes using the same freaking moves.
This was half the time of the Bound for Glory match, but not anywhere near as good.
Can you say reinvigorating?
I can't say reinvigorating without RVD. Actually, I can.
Yeah, the V and D.
Yeah.
Anyways, Matt Morgan ran in, hit a carbon footprint on RVD after the match. Then Joey Ryan was on him and holding the X Division belt.
More on that later.
Yep, Morgan took a mic and said Hogan wanted to see a different side of him. Well, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. And Matt Morgan should not be on the mic.
We covered this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
They're going to keep giving him microphone time because they don't trust Joey Ryan?
I don't know. Joey Ryan's the guy should be talking.
Matt Morgan should be the hired goon.
Yeah.
Because he already is.
I know. But anyways, Austin Aries looks out in Hogan, and this is one of the best parts of the show. Austin Aries outside Hogan's dressing room talking about stuff like, say, here's what I think he said. Oh, Mr. Hogan. What was it again? Oh yeah,
Mr. Nanny is
Mr. Nanny was so much better than Mrs. Doubtfire, and there was a second one.
Yes, no, I'm sorry, but Mr. Nanny was not as good as Mrs. Doubtfire.
No, he said it was better than Mrs. Doubtfire.
Liar.
Yeah. Give me a title shot.
Embellishing the truth.
I know. But yeah, Aries, this is Aries being the greatest man that ever lived. There is a reason for this.
There's a reason he calls himself that. It's not a gimmick, people.
He is. He's awesome. On the mic and
in the ring.
But anyways, he says he's going to stay to give the competitors crap when they get eliminated by H-double.
Huh. Yes, the heckling fan. I know all too well about that.
Yep, the heckling Austin Aries. So I'm looking up what he said secondly, because I know it was something good. I actually
Suburban Commando was, no, Mr. What was it? Thunder in Paradise was better than Baywatch.
Oh yeah, Thunder in Paradise was so much better than Baywatch. Give me the title shot.
I never watched either of them, so you know.
I watched both. Sadly. Well,
Don't hassle the Hoff.
Yeah, don't hassle the Hoff, whatever. Yeah. I kind of watched Baywatch when it was on reruns, so I didn't watch it when it was originally airing. Anyways,
I usually caught the end of Thunder in Paradise because it usually always be on before Nitro, so you know.
Yeah, Thunder in Paradise kind of. Yeah, anyways, we also, and I think I mentioned this, that there's these freaking zombie ShopTNA.com commercials.
Which they're still showing, although Halloween was yesterday.
Yeah. They suck. They're not that good. We want merchandise, not meat. And especially not Christy Hemme meat.
They probably already had that meat at some point.
I don't know. But anyways, Daniels and Kazarian come out, and they're playing Conspiracy Victim.
Oh no, they're Chris Jericho from 1998.
Yes, but they're awesome at it. And the Impact crowd's telling them they suck, and I said, shut up, Impact crowd. These two do not suck. And then I mentioned seeing three men who should still be champion are reasons why I hate this year's Bound for Glory so much. Daniels has the line of the night calling Chavo and Hernandez those stereotypicals.
They could wear masks like the conquistadors.
Yeah. And they had a petition that they wanted people to sign, and I wish I was there so I could sign it. But
we want a rematch.
Yeah, the faces come out, they sign the petition, and then cheap shot the heels.
Yay, faces!
Something is wrong with that.
One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong.
Anyways, Mr. Anderson gets eliminated, and Aries, because he's lacking fire at this point. And
Jeez, I wonder why you haven't used him in 3 months.
Starts to tease him about it. And we had a strange moment after Anderson beats up and calls out Aries to a match. We had a cut, and then we saw Jeff Hardy in the room talking to Hogan for some reason.
Jeff, what are you doing in here? This is not your segment.
I know. Yeah, what are you doing?
Have you been hitting the sauce again?
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing in there. Anyways, next we had Devon show at the Aces and Eights clubhouse. He said the president told him that their masks are not to come off, or they would lose their cut. What cut? Anyways,
apparently this angle's supposed to go on for the next 6 months, so you know.
Yeah, but they're already losing their masks, so how that good is that?
One guy loses their mask per month for the next 6 months.
Well, actually, I don't mind that for a week. One guy losing their mask every week. I wish that had happened sooner.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, just unmask all of them. Anyways, they throw a dart at the board, at pictures of the TNA roster. We don't see where the dart hits, but everyone celebrates, and Devon says that they have their victim.
Yeah,
then we have a TV title match.
And Samoa Joe won.
2 minutes and 15 seconds. Robbie E gets some slap chop offense, but really Robbie does nothing.
Robbie T?
What?
Robbie T?
Oh, Robbie E.
No, it's Robbie T.
Oh, no, Robbie T was... Oh, yeah, it was Robbie T. I'm sorry.
Robbie E was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. And this was strange also because for some reason, during the Coquina Clutch, Robbie E is distracting the referee, and Robbie T gets a clean break. Doesn't low blow him or anything. Why in the blue hell is Robbie E distracting the referee at this point? And then when Robbie T gets it locked up, when Samoa Joe gets it locked on, Robbie T is nowhere to be seen. And Robbie T taps out.
I don't know!
Yeah. Yeah.
No, neither do we, Lex. Neither do we.
That was rather awkward. And just really, Robbie E should not have done that. So anyways, Bully Ray gets eliminated because he was more focused on Devon. And I mentioned this on Twitter. What was the point of making Bully Ray one of the four?
Just because.
Yeah, really. He really didn't need to be there since he had bigger fish to fry and didn't really care.
Because they didn't want to put Aries in there.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm going to call out Devon.
Well,
we get Miss Brooke Tessmacher talking about how thrilled she was to see ODB beat up Jesse last week. And she would win her Knockouts title tonight.
Oh, no, you won't.
No, you won't, yeah. And then Anderson tells the tech guy to go get Aries so they can fight.
Oh, get him now, you son of a bitch.
I think this was maybe the best match of the night, storyline-wise, which is Mr. Anderson versus Austin Aries. This was interesting because the storyline they were playing is Anderson's not focused, and they played that well with Aries putting brass knucks in his tights and Anderson being like, what the hell are these? And the referee seeing him. Yeah. And then when eventually this happens the second time, Aries-based referee grabs the knucks while putting them away. Aries grabs a second pair of knucks and knocks out Anderson with them and wins via submission. Or because the other guy's knocked out. Anyway, Tara and her boo begged Brooke Hogan to do something about ODB. Brooke blew them off and told Tara to get ready for the match. She didn't stop Jesse and said ODB had her eye on him. And she told him to have good luck with it. Yeah. Then we get Taz and Tenay to replace them.
Mm-hmm.
We had Brooke Tessmacher versus Tara, which lasted 3 minutes, by the way. This really wasn't given much time. And really, I would be mad about Tara winning this one, but by the way she did. But really, Tara, after losing to ODB in squash fashion, she needed some heat back.
Yeah.
After the match, Brooke Hogan comes out saying next week on Open Fight Night, it's good. ODB is challenging Jesse, and I was like, no!
Man, woman.
No, God damn it.
You're challenging the wrong person.
Yes. Oh, by the way, we had Joseph Parks walking into Hogan's office. Hogan mad because, and actually he's mad because Hogan won't let him fight aces and eights.
You mad,
Hogan's
bro?
like, it's a liability, so Parks handed him a legal document and waived all liability, and Hogan says he will think about it.
What's the thing about it? He handed you a document that waives all liability.
Yeah. Then Bully Ray came out and said nothing surprised him in wrestling anymore, but he was surprised that Devon was under the mask. He then came out, he said Devon came out and said nothing and wanted his brother, even though they're not really brothers, just move on with it, face to face and tell him why he did what he did. Devon comes out and tells him, I don't know, you an explanation, bully. And I kind of agree with Devon. He's Ray's kind of the last person you owe an explanation to. And anyways, we talk about basically Bully Ray saying that, well, Devon says first that it's about Hogan. Hogan said he wanted Devon back, but Hogan, TXC, and TNA did nothing to re-sign him. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he was upset. Aces and Eights were there to pick him up, so he is helping them. Anyways, Bully Ray goes over to the fact that 2 years ago, when they lost to the Motor City Machine Guns.
Motor City Machine Guns?
Motor City, I'm sorry. Motor City Machine Guns. I really shouldn't call them that. They were actually good. Devon let Chris Sabin kick out of the 3D, which he says has never been done before.
Yes, it has.
Actually, yes, it has. Yeah, Matthew of Botchamania actually showed when it happened. It happened in ECW, and it was Masato Tanaka who kicked out.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah. Someone's kicked out.
Short-term memory loss.
Yeah. And then when they were back in the locker room, Devon told them, we're rich, Ray. Screw the fans.
Devon,
it says, yeah, it's true. Screw them. Bully Ray wants him to fight. Devon refuses and leaves with his posse. Bully says Devon has no balls and always hid behind him when they were a team. So Ray says next week is Open Fight Night, and he's challenging Devon. And so somebody's going to the table.
Right.
So he has a pair to grow. He has a week to grow a set of balls. Then we get in an interview guy asks Matt Morgan and Joey Ryan why Morgan attacked RVD. Joey asked the guy if it was his first day. I don't know. I think the X Division sleaze or something. I really didn't understand what he was saying. But anyway, Morgan points at the camera and said Hogan started this with the petty list of things keeping him down, and now he's going to finish it.
Correct.
A video hyped Christian York as the next gut check participant, and I went on off a tangent on why Christian York should get a contract and not be a gut check participant.
And we'll have more on that a bit later.
Yeah, we'll have that more later. Anyways, at the entrance backstage, Hogan tells Storm he has something huge for him later.
Storm.
But he's picking Angle, or Cyborg as he called him, for the match.
Okay.
And our main event is
Hardy and Angle, which was good.
It was a good match, but until the end, it really was nothing you have seen before.
For 30 minutes on a TNA pay-per-view.
Yeah, you've seen this. But anyways, Hardy was celebrating. Aries attacks him from behind. Aries said he's announcing his rematch at Turning Point and said that he is so confident he would win, he is taking the real title belt for safekeeping. And I actually say good on you, Aries, because Jeff Hardy obviously doesn't give a shit. If you want proof about the real belt, you should have seen the way he walked to the ring with the real belt and his custom belt. His custom belt is around his waist. The real belt, he's hanging over his shoulder like Jake the Snake used to with Damien Snake. Yeah. That bag-carrying Damien. And even throws it down in the ring while he's at the top rope doing his little pose crap. So yeah. Fuck you, Jeff Hardy. Fuck you, Jeff Hardy, for that shit.
Way to look the title way to make the title look important, Jeff.
Yeah, way to make it look important. Yeah. Anyways, I think we got a few bit of news here. Wes Briscoe was kind of in the hospital, he had some kidney issues because he was dehydrated.
Hurrah.
And Bound for Glory airings of the TNA theaters the movie theaters were a bust.
Nobody showed up.
500 to 1,000 people showed up, total combined attendance.
Because nobody wants to watch wrestling in the movie theater anymore. This is not the 80s where not everybody had the pay-per-view capabilities to do it.
Yes, so that's like 5 to 10 people per theater. Congratulations. Yes. You fail. And now we have to get to this week's TNA Impact. This week's show. We start off with Joseph Park in the middle of the ring, dressed to compete. He said he's not a wrestler. Hogan hasn't called him back yet. They discovered a loophole, open fight night.
Duh.
So he issues an open challenge to anybody from the Aces and Eights, an outcome for them. Of course, Park says, I said only one of you.
You idiot.
Yeah, they don't fucking listen. But Angle makes a save. Sting has to come out too to push them all away, promising that somebody is losing their masks tonight. We then have Borash and Kennelly welcoming us to Impact as we head backstage. What?
I forgot to mention something, and that is the guy that Aces and Eights ended up attacking was Kurt Angle at the end of last week's show. Oh, god damn it, yeah, that's right. They showed that in the video package.
Yeah, they showed that in the video package. Last week, the guy Aces and Eights chose with their dartboard was Kurt Angle, who was beat up. As the show ends, Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff chase off the Aces and Eights guy.
Yay for those gallant young baby faces.
Yep.
Nothing more threatening than Garrett Bischoff.
Magnus is making his way to the ring, but the camera guy asks if he's going to confront Aces and Eights. Magnus says he has no interest in them, but he has have an interest in removing masks and exposing people for what they really are. We then have the Hollywood couple, backstage, and Jesse is yelling at Tara about how he's a man and he shouldn't have to face ODB. And Tara rubs some sterilizing lotion on him. And for some reason,
I don't think that's going to help you against ODB there, buddy.
For some reason, they talked about adopting kids instead of the normal way.
Yes, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie referenced on TNA.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Magnus comes down to the rings and calls Samoa Joe the Howard Stern of professional wrestling.
I don't think Joe hosts a radio show that millions of people listen to, but anyway.
Yeah, he says Joe's popular, but he has a face for radio. So yeah, he's challenging Joe for the TV title.
And hits him in the head with a wrench.
Oh yeah, during the match, yeah. Winner by DQ, Samoa Joe, because Magnus is pissed off because Joe's beating him up, and Magnus hits him with a wrench, so... Yeah, DQ finish.
And Joe does a promo after the match backstage saying that if Magnus wants no rules, he's got no rules, and he's going to kill him. And I have a feeling that's going to happen at Turning Point.
Or next week, who knows?
Probably Turning Point. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. I agree, probably Turning Point. We have Kurt Angle talking to Hogan and Sting with Joseph Park, and he demands to face Devon tonight.
Kurt,
Hogan's
idiot.
Dude, Bully Ray has Devon tonight. But
you can have him what's left of him.
Yeah, if there's anything left of him, you can have him at Turning Point.
So basically, Angle gets a consolation prize.
Anyways, Garrett Bischoff and Wes Briscoe are also there, and they're ready to fight as well. So,
yes,
and Sting and
I'd
Hogan...
be intimidated if I saw those guys coming after me.
Yeah. Sting and Hogan yell about ripping some asses as we fade to another commercial break. I have nothing to say about that.
It's time for Gut Check. That's what I gotta say about that.
Actually, we have Chris Daniels and Kazarian making their way to the ring and talk about how Hernandez and Chavo Guerrero are fakes and that they're going to win back the tag belts at Turning Point. And since it's open fight night, they're going to call out two men respected for their heritage. Willie Urbina and Hector Guerrero, the Spanish announce team.
Hugo and Carlos. I mean, Hector and Willie.
Yeah. They say some few things to Spanish to piss him off before Kazarian attacks Willie. Hector fights back, but the former champions beat them down. Chavo and Hernandez...
Danny should have brought up the gobbledygooker.
Oh, God, yeah. Or Lasertron. Yeah. Hector, you do know you have a whole crap of gimmicks in your past. Heck, who knows if maybe you were under Stomper the Kangaroo.
Oh, God. Kangaroo Jack.
Yeah. Anyways, Daniels tells them that he's glad they're taking the belt thing seriously. After they bail out. Now we have Gut Check, and it's Christian York, who's freaking jacked.
Looks like Jerry Lynn did about 15 years ago.
Yeah. And his opponent...
Now Jerry Lynn looks like Mickey Warwick.
Yeah. By the way, big ups for Christian York being from Culpeper, Virginia. That's like about 2 hours from here, my area, where I live. Actually, no, it's really about an hour where I live, not 2 hours. It's about an hour. It's not that long. So yeah, anyways, Zema Ion gets his ass kicked through most of the match, and Christian York's really putting it out there. Mm-hmm. Of all the guys, including Joey Ryan, Christian York's probably the most ready of any of these guys.
Yep.
But anyways...
Of course. He jobs.
Zema Ion wins with the submission, and York is forced to tap.
The submission impossible. Except, everybody submits to it.
Yeah.
That makes sense to call it that when everybody submits to it.
Yeah. Anyways.
It's impossible to break.
So, yeah, next week we'll have their gut check. And if they don't sign this kid, they're a bunch of idiots. I mean, he's not even as cocky as the other guy, who they should have signed, but then, which is Joey Ryan, who signed anyways. Anyways,
that's an interesting president.
Yeah, Austin Aries does say it's fight night and he has some business to take care of. So he walks into the room with Robbie E and Rob Terry and says something about 5 points and closes the door behind him. Yep. Garrett Bischoff finds Bully in the back and says that he knows he doesn't have the same kind of issues with Ace and Eights, but lets him know he's on Bully's side tonight. Bully tells Garrett it takes the man to say what he said to him in the middle of a hallway. They're cut off by some guy who tells them Aces and Eights are outside. They rush to the parking lot where Sting and the gang are already waiting. The two groups collide. Team TNA is getting the better of them, and Bully Ray runs after Devon, but Ace and Eights are able to escape because of that. Then Sting says the mask is coming off. Then we have, oh dear God, ODB versus Jesse.
Stupid.
There is much horrors. This match was bad.
Awful.
And this Jesse kid showed he was not ready, although he did do a slam, like a body slam, shove, got slapped most of the time. But yeah, there were like several spots where he was uncoordinated. But Terror gets on the ring apron in a horrible outfit. I do agree with that, people. That was horrible that Terror was wearing. That outfit doesn't look good on her. She confronts ODB, but this is a distraction, so Jesse can roll up ODB for the 3 count.
Thank God.
Yes. Todd, Mike Tenay takes over for Todd.
Todd
No, Todd, whoever that other guy is, Todd. Kenley, yeah. Todd Kenley or something. And we find out that Taz is back east, helping out his family after this week's hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, they were doing scrawls throughout the show of text the Red Cross, give them money so they can help people. Noble cause.
Yes, I agree.
Anyways, Robbie T and Robbie E make their way to the ring.
And Robbie E challenges Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, because he said the best part of this year's Bound for Glory series was when he defeated Jeff Hardy.
No.
So he's calling him out
anyway.
to beat him again.
Well, that didn't happen.
For some effing reason, this match lasted longer than it freaking should. I shit you not, this match wasn't a squash. I don't know why. They gave this match some time. But Jeff Hardy won.
Yep.
Then Austin Aries made his way out to the ring and talks about climbing the ladder and ascending to greatness. Jeff Hardy says, I'm taking a ladder from under the ring, and I'm challenging you to a ladder match.
Didn't I say this might happen?
Well, yeah.
I think we talked the other, when we were supposed to go on Sunday, but I said this might happen.
Yeah, probably. Backstage, James Storm found Hulk Hogan and said he understood why Hogan decided to pick Kurt Angle, but Hogan never told him what he had planned for him.
Well, just wait 5 minutes and you'll find out.
Yeah, I have a problem here. Didn't Hogan say last week that he had something planned for Storm? Why didn't he tell him then?
Because we had to get a segment with Robbie Roode and AJ Styles.
we did. And anyways, we find out that because Storm is a betting man, and Hogan has an idea, which is there's gonna be a triple threat match. And this is interesting circumstances. Interesting circumstances at Turning Point. The winner gets the title shot at Final Resolution. The loser, the one who gets pinned or submitted, ain't getting a title shot until Bound for Glory 2013.
So, will they not do the Bound for Glory series then?
Oh, they probably will, but yeah,
that doesn't make sense then. If the loser doesn't get a shot until Bound for Glory 2013, why not just say the loser doesn't get the title shot until...
No, he can't.
For a year.
He can't get a title shot. He can't get a title shot.
Right, I said can't.
Yeah, he can't get a title shot. That means in Bound for Glory 2013, afterwards, he will have a chance to get a title shot.
Ah, okay.
Which means he'll be at the Bound for Glory series because that will be the due date and all that. And he can't. So yeah, that's an interesting thing. And AJ Styles one of the things AJ did rip on the WWE, said that there seems to be a current fad of getting on an elevator with a member of the opposite sex.
Oh, God.
Being photographed. And as Ciara pointed out, and Chris pointed out, I've been in the elevator with a bunch of people before of opposite sex, so yeah.
Who pointed that out?
What?
Who pointed that out?
AJ Styles did.
No, in the chat room.
Ciara and Chris Jenkins did on their show.
Ah.
They pointed that out, that really there'd be a lot of going around if that's true. If that's supposed to intimate something.
Evidence that nothing happened.
They got on an elevator.
You have no evidence. Sorry.
Something must have happened. They got in an elevator. Oh, dear God.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Elevators equal sex, apparently.
Maybe in movies. In most movies, it equals death.
Actually, yeah, in some movies it equals death. In an Aerosmith song, it does equal sex.
Love in an elevator.
Yep. It does equal sex in an Aerosmith song. So someone must have took that seriously. That there only must be loving in an elevator. Do you not know how many massive orgies there'd be?
Nobody gets to make love unless it's in an elevator.
Yeah, dear God. Yeah. We're not in Caligula, people.
Anyway, enough of that bit.
Anyways, Hogan's at a new beach shop that he's opened up. And
Matt Morgan emasculates him.
Stole his robe that he wore at Shea Stadium. I don't think that's the real robe.
22 years ago, but anyway.
Yeah, I really don't think that's the real one.
And then just stands there and Hogan just takes getting emasculated.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Anyways, they come out to the ring, and Hogan's dressed up in the cape. And says, since TNA has been ignoring his talents for years, he is going to eat through the TNA roster one by one until he owns the world title.
You have no talent, Matt. Your finishing move is a kick.
He has talent for a big man, but here's the thing. We already have one giant guy eating people.
Feed me more.
Yeah, we already have one guy. We don't need two. Anyways, Joey Ryan calls out Rob Van Dam.
And this match goes about 30 seconds, but anyway.
Although, I do find this funny because he said, there is a VD that I am looking at.
Which one, Joey?
The RVD.
Yes, indeed. Innuendo.
Very interesting innuendo.
Yes. Please tell us which one you're looking for, Joey. What do you have?
Gonorrhea.
No, that'd be Jimmy Rave.
RVD.
No, Jimmy Rave's the one who has gonorrhea.
Yeah.
Don't remember? Anyway,
No,
moving on.
Anyways, Joey Ryan wins. And then Matt Morgan lays out the X Division champion with a carbon footprint.
After Joey Ryan won, anyway.
Yeah, after Joey Ryan won in a very short match.
This match went like 20 seconds.
Yep. Bully Ray makes his way to the ring and wishes everyone in the East Coast affected by the hurricane the well. He then calls out Devon, and they're going face to face, but Devon doesn't come alone. Well, he does originally. Well, Devon originally comes alone, but then Bully Ray brings a table to the ring, and then Devon brings.
I wonder what's going to happen here.
Yeah, Devon then brings his boys out. They all corner Bully Ray, who has a chain. Then Sting and several other members of the locker room come out.
And Joseph Park.
Then Joseph Park comes out and fights the big Aces and Eights member, who he unmasks to reveal Luke Gallows or Festus.
Festus. Now we just need Jesse.
Yeah, ding ding. And Festus Luke Gallows power bombs or choke slams.
Choke slam.
Double choke slams Joseph Park into the table. That is the end of the show, folks.
Yay. Anyway.
Yeah, but do you have anything to sell before we leave for the night?
I might. Tomorrow night, IWE presents Redemption featuring, just announced today, Mason X taking on Andy McKenzie in the Collision of the Towers of Pain. Also, we have the big tag title match, which will be Scotty Vegas and Scott Wilde taking on Johnny Miyagi and Viper the American Ninja. We have the collision of the 7-foot Giant Pharaoh against the 5'4" Crash Landing. A little bit of a size differential there. But anyway. And the main event is the the flag match between Gino Martino and Ricky Williams. The next night in Brewer, it is Fallout, which will feature Jive and Jimmy putting the title on the line against the TV title on the line against the Giant Pharaoh. And in the main event, it'll be Gino Martino defending the title if he is successful tomorrow night against Surfer Andy McKenzie. There'll also be a big announcement made that night, I guess, from what I'm hearing. Or maybe it's the night before, I'm not sure. And then on December 6th, Pro Wrestling, we have the Pro Wrestling Experience in Fairfield, Maine, and because they weren't able to find a building for the next night, we are going to have 3 steel cage matches on that show, as we have the Scufflin' Hillbillies taking on the Heartthrobs, and Jimmy Jacobs will be in one, but his opponent's not announced yet. And then the third cage match will be the Prodigy Mike Bennett against Jimmy Wang Yang, which is the main event. And then we also have just announced for that a triple threat match, as it'll be Cameron Matthews, ROH's Vinny Marzaglia, Celtic Connor Murphy. Also on the show will be WWE Tough Enough Finals Luke Robinson, Matt Taven, Casey Ray, and more. Please listen to my friends over at The Place to Be with Scott Criscalou and Justin Rosero. This past week, they interviewed Kevin Kelly, who is ROH commentator, and they covered the year of 1997. They will have part 2 on November the 14th with Mr. Kevin Kelly, where they talk about the whole Survivor Series 97 incident, as well as the end of 1997. I think that's all I have.
I have nothing else to say, so can you close the show?
For my partner Seth Draken, this is Mike Poulin, and we will be back next week with another Impact Implosion. And have a good rest of your week, folks, and a good weekend. Bye!